Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest arrived. Emergency. Queen's Quest
Down to the queens.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, and everybody inside and outside of the gender spectrum, and welcome back to Stardom Quest Gold, the best weekly Stardom and Marigold podcast anywhere in the world. I am, as always, Alex, and I am joined by Dylan. Hi, Dylan.
Hi, Alex. Hi, everybody. Coming to you not so live from my new apartment. And yeah,
Woo.
that's cool. I am now a adult who pays way too much in rent for what I got, but that's okay. I've been sleeping on the floor. I have a cold. I went out drinking last night. I thought I was gonna have a hangover,
Okay,
but then I woke up and I just have a cold. I drank to forget the New Day segment because how fucking dare
that
they?
is fair.
How dare they? I was distraught over that shit. Happy 10 years to
WWE do the thing,
best male tag team to ever live, by the way. But happy 10 years. But we can
Yeah,
get on to
we love the New Day.
yeah.
I liked the New Day vignettes when they aired. I thought the music was
Oh, I
nice
adored
because
them.
they
Yeah,
had the music
I
and it was
I
cool, and I was
still
like,
love the
yeah,
music.
all right,
I still love
it
the
was
music.
it was good. But yeah, this is head on over to the 5starnetwork.co. All of the latest articles and podcasts from the wonderful world of pro wrestling. And head on over to the 5 Star Network YouTube channel, which is where this show goes up. Actress Stage goes up, and I know there's a new Actress Stage coming soon. No Limit Wrestling goes up, and we're gonna eventually record that. Um, so yeah, check it all out.
We were supposed to Thursday, but then I was like, I don't know if I'll be set up by then, and now I'm sick. So I'm just like, I'm
Yeah,
definitely not gonna be ready by then. But yeah,
that happens.
Sometime this month. Yeah. I don't know when.
Right?
We were talking about maybe Monday, but I feel like Monday is very soon, and I don't know if I'll be healthy by then. Um, Unfortunately, every day we're talking about I work, so I'm gonna have to figure out like a way to multitask.
Yeah, we definitely can't do this live. I think
Yeah,
there's gonna
probably
be too
not.
much fuckery. So I think we'll have to let somebody edit it. But it'll be fine. We'll sort it out. On our show then, we are going to start with Marigold. Marigold ran last Thursday, so we're just going to get that out of the way and then focus on all the big stuff from Stardom. Um, as far as Marigold wrestles outside of Marigold, Kazuna Tanaka wrestled on like a local show. I think she teamed with Saki, and they beat
Hmm.
Lisa Sarah and some rookie whose name escapes me. And I think Kazuna
Was
got
it
the win.
Shaw? I feel like Shaw's
No,
everywhere.
not Sha, surprisingly. It was somebody else who we all know, but I just can't remember the name. Um, yeah, we'll never see it, but that's just another thing Marigold is doing. Um, the no Monday Magic. Monday Magic is over. There's been no announcements regarding Marigold wrestlers on shows, so it's been a very quiet week. Yeah, like if you don't keep up with the Twitter bits, nothing has really happened with this promotion. So
Yeah,
we're just
nothing
gonna
actually. Like, cause I was just
yeah.
thinking about it, it's like I am a pretty strong Marvel fan, and I outside of the show that we watched, I there was nothing.
No.
There was nothing. Oh,
Hibernation.
Utami's on the 30 under 30 list. Only Joshi to
Oh
make it.
yeah, the ESPN list. Yeah, that's really funny. They went, "Who's the girl who got the 5 stars that one time?" and just threw her on. Because yeah, they definitely don't watch anything.
Which I mean, hell, fair. You know what? Like,
Nobody else can get 5 stars, so I mean, fuck it. It is an
yeah, I
accomplishment.
mean, like Mayu and Sari's 28, so actually she probably should have been on. But otherwise, it's like in terms of like a notoriety top star vibe, I don't think anybody else should be on the list more than Utami. Um, except for Sari, like I said. Because even over in Stardom, it's like you can put a Zumi in there or Kid in there, but it's not like they have the kayfabe credentials for that. So
Stardom depends on Micah's age, which is a mystery. So I think
yeah,
that's kind of the big issue there.
that too.
Um,
Yeah,
Sai Kamatani didn't win the red belt yet, so
and Sai
yeah, no,
Kamatani should
Micah's
not be on the
is the
list.
thing.
Yeah, Michael would be if she had an age, but she's timeless. like Tony's
That's
story.
true. So we are going to review the one Marigold show, or at least what I watched of it. I don't know how much you saw, but I
I
only checked out the
watched
important stuff.
I watched every match. No, I skipped the triple threat match, but I watched the finish.
Okay,
And I watched every other match.
fair enough. So this on the 28th of November, and the Tobu Friend Hall, and it had 203 fans in this insane little venue that again looked like a lecture hall,
I
but it's
loved it.
actually
I
probably a
actually
theater.
loved it. It reminded me of my middle school because it had the middle school. I had a cafetorium, and it was like a the vibe was very big auditorium. Uh, except I didn't have all of the seats. We had lunch tables. Shocker. Um, but yeah, it reminded me of my schooling days where we had the big stage and shit.
That is an interesting way to use a room that big in a school.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, it was an interesting little venue. They have run
I was in a play on
some
that.
intriguing ones. You did a play in
Yeah,
the cafetorium.
when I was younger.
Okay.
I don't want to talk about Stardom, so we're kind of like
No,
stretching on.
we gotta
Um,
do it. Let's do it. We
I
have
know,
to.
no,
So
but I was in a play called The Election, and this was in 2016, so it was very timely. Um,
okay.
and I was the outgoing president who got impeached for beating the fuck out of a mascot, a school president.
Oh,
School president.
right,
It was
right.
like
Okay.
all it was like a satire on like politics and like how campaigns work, but it was all
hmm
through the lens of like, oh, these are children doing a school election and like they're getting bought by by bigwigs somehow because it's like what the wait, but I just want better lunches, bro, type of thing. But yeah, I beat the fuck out of a mascot, and that was the gimmick. And I got dumped on stage as a part of the play.
Damn,
That's true.
sucks, but
Yeah,
sounds fun.
it was fun.
Um,
It was a good time.
this Marigold show opened with Rhea Seto beating Komomo Minami in 6.5 minutes. So they seem to be doing a 50-50 thing. Like Komomo wins one week, Rhea Seto wins the next week. It's very
This
Rossi, his 50-50 stuff.
was good. It was a good match.
Yeah,
Like actively, it was actively a good
I
match, which I
think
was
they're
kind of
both
shocked
good.
about.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm high on Rhea, but I think Komomo's coming along very well too.
yeah. I mean, if you compared this to their match, what the fuck was the big show called that they had? Summer Destiny. If you compare
Summer
this to the Summer
Destiny, yeah.
Destiny match, this was better in basically every single way, and it's great to
Yes.
see that um, active upgrade between the two of them.
hmm
Obviously, Rhea is good and has been good, but we say it every week. Come on, was getting good too, and I talked to Xavier about it. Xavier mentioned that it's like she kind of has time to grow because it's not like they really need her in the crop of rookies because Naho's really good, Rhea's really good, Sari's coming in. Like they have enough of an ecosystem on the undercard that Komo can kind of take her time, and it's good that she does that because she's getting better.
All right. After that, we had Now Shikawa beating Hummingbird and Mila Grace in just under 6 minutes. I believe Now pinned Mila with her German.
Yeah,
They said Hummingbird and
beautiful
they
German.
issued a correction, but yeah, good, good. They keep heating Mila Grace up, and then she'll just lose for a while. So I'm kind of giving up any hope of her getting a title match before she
Yeah,
goes home. Pretty sad, but
that's probably for
okay.
the best.
Um, Selena Flora, Kazuna Tanaka, and Victoria Yuzuki beat Naho Yamada and Natsumi Shizuki in 13.5 minutes. Yuzuki got the win for her team over Naho. This was obviously meant to be a preview for Yuzuki versus Shozuki, but I thought the best part of the match was honestly Yuzuki Naho. I thought
Hmm.
them towards the end was fantastic. Really made me hope that we get a V1, V2 Naho maybe because I think Yuzuki is winning in January. I think that's pretty
As do
set
I.
now. So hopefully they do Naho soon.
Yeah, I mean Naho's awesome. I think she's really good, and again we talk about it every week, but I really like what she brings to all these house shows. I feel like she's just a great tag partner in there. You know what
Mm.
I mean? Like she just really is a real asset to the roster, and I would love to see her get a title shot, not a title necessarily in the next couple months. Um, yeah, I thought Yuzuki did well against Shizuki as well. Kazuna really should take some time off.
Yeah,
Cause
she looked pretty bad here.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think she looked terrible, but it was pretty clear that she was avoiding hard bumps,
Hmm.
because her back's fucked up, and that kinda got in the way of certain things. She was a bit slower, a bit off her step, and I just think it all ultimately is because very clearly her back isn't in the best shape. I mean, she's wearing a fucking a a a back brace that's twice her size. So maybe we should, I don't know, give her a month off or something to, preventative. Even if she doesn't have an official, even if she's cleared, we should probably be doing a preventative action here because I don't think she's operating at the level that she could be, um, or should be. So we should probably give her a break.
Probably. Um, After the match, Victoria Yuzuki challenged Natsumi Shizuki for the Superfly Championship. That is a match that I was expecting them to do, but they made it official. Kazuna on Twitter was like, "Hey, I also want to challenge for the belt, so who knows? She might challenge on Face or one of the Korakuen shows." But it looks to me like Yuzuki is going over Shizuki at New Year Destiny. Is that the name?
First stream.
First stream.
That's
Where did I get
New
New Year
New Year
Destiny from?
Destiny is the show that Stardom's counter programming.
Ah,
That show.
Stardom's New Year Destiny. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, right. They all have such similar names. Um, the next match was Mai Sakurai and Mirai beating Miku Ono and Misa Matsui in 16 minutes. Kind of like the last match, this was meant to be a preview for Mai versus Miku Ono, but then the highlight of the match was actually Mirai Misa, and I
Hmm.
was kind of like, hell yeah, let's
Oh, this
go.
was very good though. Uh,
It was really
yeah,
fun.
I
But
really like it.
like Mariah and Misa were just insane. I think Mai and Miku are interesting. I think their match in the GP was great, and I think their singles match will be great. But I'm not sure they're this like high profile tag pairing because they're a lot more subtle with it. They just kind of kick and hit each other.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating because like we've seen what Mai Sakurai can do this year. Um, but her being tag partners with Mirai still kind of makes her a Janetti because Mirai is just absurd against
Yes.
everybody. Um, and I don't mean that as like a Mai Sakurai sucks thing. Um, but I don't think Mario Jannetty necessarily. I mean, he's a weird guy. Don't get me wrong. But as a wrestler, I don't think Mario Jannetty sucked any more so. But I think that that's kind of the problem here is that it's like I was excited for the Mirai Miku bits more than the
Mm.
Mai I don't know bits, and then I was impressed by the Mirai Misa bits more than the Mai I don't know bit. So it was just kind of like, hmm. You know what I mean? Where it's like that's hard for my Sakurai, because Mirai's just she's like that. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But I
Yeah, I
thought this
think
was a
that.
very good match. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, no, I agree. It was a good tag match. Yeah, I just think the Mai and I don't know stuff is so much more like we're gonna stand and trade, which is
Mm,
really fun in singles matches, but it doesn't beat, Mirai lariating the shit out of somebody in a tag. So, I think the previews might disappoint, but I do think their singles match will kick ass. I did enjoy their GP one.
yeah.
Um, I think we have a lot of time, so I'm gonna say it now. After
Mm,
this show, I think I finally clocked what first stream is, and it is essentially a reset of this promotion. Um, this guy Rossi, he's gonna belt up Utami, he's gonna belt up Yuzuki, he's gonna belt up Mai, and I'm expecting Seri now to go 20 with either Bozilla or Mirai, and that's gonna kickstart 2025 for Rossi. I saw I kind of it kind of clicked into gear once I saw Yuzuki versus Shozuki at it. I went, this guy is gonna do what Rossi does and just go changing of the guard, let's go, and I'm very
mm.
intrigued by that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting because I mean, you could look at it right. Like Rossi, as far as we know, as far as general knowledge is, and as far as even you know I guess insider knowledge, which I don't really have. Uh, the actress girls were not a thing until legitimately like a couple days before Marigold got announced. You know what I mean? Like that wasn't a thing that was under wraps for a long time or something that was like going to happen, but wasn't really well known. It's like that legitimately was a last minute thing. Um, and so I think looking at the past uh 7 months, it's fascinating that most of the champions have been actress girls. Most of the challengers have been actress girls. And I think when you look at first stream, or Saori, I mean, like,
Yeah.
those are the two. The actress girls and Saori. Those have been the people dominating this company. So I think you look at first stream and look at all those people you just named. Those are Stardom wrestlers. Those are Rossi's wrestlers. Like, long term. Shozuki is too, but you get my point. So I do see what you mean. I think that there is a sort of like, this is the original plan sort of thing. Maybe not original plan, quote unquote, but this is like where we're actually starting. Uh, and all of the stuff we've experienced has been a bit more of a precursor to it, and kind of getting their groundwork set because Julia left early and all this stuff. I could definitely see what you mean, that this is going to be the start of Rossi promotions. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely see what you mean there, and I'm interested in that. I do wonder. Wrestling's all about the delay. I feel like giving Yuzuki and Utami and my Sakurai belts, 7 months in, will be interesting because what are they going to do after that sort of thing? Uh, and I know that that's a bit long term, and you never know what can happen within the next year or so. But I am very interested in how year two starts, because yeah, first stream is definitely indicative of where Rossi's looking. I mean, it's him showing his hand for sure.
Yeah. It just feels like one of those Rossi
And you didn't even
shows, you
mention it.
know.
Koki is getting her first defense of a championship there
Yeah,
too.
that too. I keep forgetting that one's on it, but yeah, I mean, Koki is somebody that he's gonna love and build around as well. So it does make you kind of wonder that Mozilla is obviously not factoring into his long-term thinking. She must just be a roadblock. Should get signed then. I'd imagine after putting somebody over.
I mean, I
Um,
think, didn't Rossi say that he expects her to be signed by the time
yeah, he
she's
did.
done?
Yeah, I'm surprised she wasn't ID'd already, like with the
Same.
WWE ID stuff.
She's probably just like actually going to be in the company. I would imagine.
Probably, yeah. They might need it as well. The move to Netflix might like bump their TV time up, and they might need a restock on some stuffs. But I honestly have no idea anymore with what they're gonna do.
Bozilla versus
But
Io. Who says
I'm
no?
here for you know what I want? I want Bozilla Bianca. I need Bianca Belair
That too.
against monsters because Bianca Belair and Nia Jax had a really fun
Oh,
match on
brother.
Raw. But
And
yeah, like
Bozilla's actually
Bianca playing that
competent. That's the
role.
beautiful thing.
Yeah, all right, whatever. But you know what I mean. Bianca versus the bigger heel is
Hmm.
fantastic. So yeah, I'm
That's
kind
true.
of I'm kind of into that. But yeah, Ota Ward, I've kind of clocked it. I think I know what Rossi's gonna do, and if he doesn't, I have no idea. But that's for the future.
Rossi always has a surprise up his sleeves. There's definitely gonna be something crazy that happens in
Yeah,
terms of
either
like
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 Sari is just gonna
Miku's.
win,
Yeah, like
or
Miku or
yeah,
Sari's gonna retain, and it's gonna be like, oh,
yeah,
okay. I
sure,
think Sari retaining would be the more like, oh shit, cool,
that would
okay,
be cool. I'd be
yeah.
into that. Um, Speaking of Utami, though, she was in our main event. This was Bozilla, Chiaki, and Nagisa Nozaki beating Koki, Utami, and Minami Yuki in 17.5 minutes. The Dark Wolf Army kind of just bullied Minami Yuki, and afterwards, Nagisa Nozaki was like, "You will never beat us. You suck." So that was an interesting thing to do. Um, and yeah, Dark Wolf Army stands tall,
I
like
I
champs.
actually kind of really like this. Oh shit, I just realized in my spreadsheet I've been swapping Minami Yuki and Yuki Minami. So that's not good. I'll have to fix that. Um, I'm just calling her Yuki Minami. But I actually really like this match. I was wondering what like Yuki Minami could bring to a, Marigold main event. Turns out a lot. She was kind of the star of the show because she got obliterated so aggressively for so long that it was kind of fucking awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I loved it. I thought the match was a lot of fun. And I don't think we talk about it enough. I know I talk about it a lot, but I don't think we talk about enough how inspired of booking it is to have your two top heels in your company be Sari and Nagisa Nozaki. Um, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Like that makes that puts Marigold above like most companies just by that. Because Nagisa Nozaki is such a good top heel. And I love it. I love this match. I love what she produces. I love what she gets out of Chiaki and Bozilla. I think this Dark Wolf Army stuff just works. And yeah, I really like this match because Yuki uh went through some shit and that was real. And that was what I wanted. Um so ton of fun, and yeah, Dark Wolf Army for life. I yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you're there. I didn't know.
Oh.
I thought what I was gonna say again. I had this idea before I got sick. So me pontificating is a bit harder today than I was expecting. But
Hmm.
I think, and I know people don't like it when you compare Marigold and Stardom. Um, but I think in general, in Japanese wrestling, in the current meta, you need a interesting top heel group for me to be interested. It doesn't
Okay.
matter how good your baby faces are. Um, because like Noah has kind of sucked, but Team 2000 or 200X, I forget how it's pronounced. Team 2000, save for Yoshitatsu, is very interesting. So that's enough for me to be like, okay, I'll I'll look in a little bit. Daga is awesome. Jack Morris is all right. He's solid, and um, Taishi Ozawa, I believe, like he's great. Like he's awesome. Um, so even though the company's kind of like shaky a bit, they have a top heel faction that I think are interesting. Again, let's not talk about Yoshitatsu. Um, then you contrast that with like New Japan. I think the War Dogs are kind of shit. Uh, House of Torture is kind of fun, but War Dogs are pretty ass. So it's like kind of a half and half. And I think here in Marigold, and Hate, we'll talk about Hate later. Um, I think in Marigold having the Dark Wolf Army just be nuisances and be fun to watch and be interesting is part of why I really like Marigold. And part of why it's easy to watch is because they are heels and they do heel stuff, and it's not like they are just not healing it up. But I find them interesting, and I think their matches are fun to watch, and I don't feel frustrated at every turn when I watch them. Um, and I think that's a big part of why certain companies are interesting to me in certain moments and certain companies aren't. So that's my statement on heels. Because me and Valke talked about it in the Discord a couple days ago about my feeling about heels. And I was just like, no, I like heels when I feel like they're done, when the heel is good at being a heel, when I enjoy their heel work. Like like I enjoy heel work if it's entertaining. And I think Dark Wolf Army are slowly but surely getting to the point where they have figured it out in that sense, and I like it.
Okay. I will. I'll let you have that one. I don't. I
Yeah,
don't think we have room to debate this. Because yeah,
we
I don't.
do.
I don't mind hate.
Oh
I
yeah,
kind of like hate sometimes. Um, Dark Wolf Army is lucky because they're the only one. I think that's the big difference. Because even like when New Japan was good, like the entire undercard was just heel interference stuff and like
hmm
crowd brawling, and it's shit. And then obviously, and I'm going to complain about this later in Stardom, there was 3 hate matches back to back, and by the third one, you're like, okay, I don't care about the crowd brawling anymore.
yeah.
Do
That
stuff.
became a thing. Like I like the different, like, because you just mentioned New Japan used to have Suzuki Gun and Bullet Club being like heel interference bullshit. I appreciated the difference because now, and especially like during COVID, it was just it would be an 8 match show and 7 of them would have Bullet Club bullshit in it.
Hmm.
And I was like, at least give me Suzuki Gun bullshit, man. Like give me something else. Um, but no, I get what you mean. I think Storm shows have been the tag league has been difficult to watch because of how much bad factions are involved.
I'm not even blaming it hate. So many people are just underperforming in tag league. It's
Yeah.
not
No,
like
that's why
everybody is
that's why I specifically said
half-assing
that.
it.
That's why I specifically said that there are 3 factions that aren't particularly good. Um and you know, hate I think is just the most offensive, especially Momo and Tekla. But and well, no, not especially Momotekko. It's pretty much all of them. But I think that EXV is not good, and I think God's Eye is sometimes good, and it's hard. Storms. Oh, well, we'll talk about it.
We will. Um, that was the Marigold show. Nice little show. Nothing really too amazing, nothing too bad either, though. So
Oh yeah,
it's a win is a win.
Tobu is in Tokyo, and I found that out
Ah,
when people started making noise.
okay.
Like people were like going Yazuki, Yazuki, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? They talk now, and I was like, oh, it's Tokyo. Okay.
They talk now. That's insane.
Well, because outside of
Um,
Tokyo, there are no
oh,
cheers for
dude, I
Marigold
know.
or for Stardom for that matter,
Yeah, those Stardom shows were had some interesting crowds.
unless you're Hanan in the main event of your hometown.
Yeah, it's a bit of a cheat code in fairness. But yeah, we can talk about crowds later. Stardom's crowds are so dead that I watched Marvelous. Like I actively went out of my way to watch men wrestle because I was like, this crowd likes Nagayo, so that's all I need. Um,
Like I said, I saw this in the group chat, because we were like, oh, that Marvelous show isn't great. I was like, all Chigusa needs to do is say, hey, it's my anniversary or birthday. What was it?
birthday, yeah,
It's my birthday, and one of the girls from Queen of Villains is gonna be here, and she would get a crowd,
yeah.
and she didn't
Or
even
they
have to
packed
say
that
that they
shit.
were there.
Yeah.
They were there, but she didn't even have to say that shit, and it worked.
Um, we got two Marigold shows to preview. The first is on the 7th. This is in the Osaka 176 box, so the crowd will basically not exist. In
Hmm.
the opener, we have Victoria Yuzuki versus Bozilla. Oh,
Oh,
that's beast. I mean, Bozilla's gonna win, but that's pretty cool. Um,
I feel like
Misamatsu.
well, I think Bozil's gonna win, but I could also see Yuzuki doing a cheeky shit, uh, like my Sakura did in the tournament, like
Count out.
getting a count out, or just getting Bozil getting DQ'd or something like that to
Yeah.
protect Yuzuki. I would not be surprised by that.
All right. We have Misamatsui versus Kazuna Tanaka versus Komomo Minami. It's probably Kazuna winning. Yeah. I probably like her the most out of those three.
Um, yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah.
I'm.
Um.
Oh, it's not there. I'm trying to find the match card so I can look at this with you.
Oh yeah. No, you have to scroll down a good bit. Our next match is an interesting one. It's Hummingbird and Flying Penguin versus Rei Seto and
Hmm.
Naho Yamada. It's probably a Hummingbird over Naho again, which is interesting because you'd think Flying Penguin would lose, but probably not.
Yeah, I mean, Flying Penguin can lose. She is pretty not important in
She has
the.
no clout like whatsoever. So
Yeah, exactly. That's yeah.
I don't know. I
Hmm.
don't think they'll let Naho win.
Yeah, I don't think. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, Naho isn't
Yeah.
winning. Yeah.
So it's probably Hummingbird over Naho. Um, our next match then is Team Champion. It's Miko Aono, Koki, and Natsumi Shizuki versus Mirai, Mai Sakurai, and Mila Grace. And that's probably either Iono or Koki over Mila.
I have finally found the match cards.
Ooh,
Yeah, I think it is definitely over Myla. Uh, maybe we just talked about maybe maybe Myla just pins Shizuki and gets a title shot in face or something.
that would be fun. But
That'd be
I'm
funny
losing
and
hope.
interesting. This
Our
is all of
main
the champions in the company. Uh,
it
right here,
is.
and
Oh yeah,
Myla.
shit, yeah, and Mila. Yeah, 'cause Sari's the other
Oh
one.
wait, no, Sari.
Um,
Yeah, Sari's out.
yeah.
Myla replacing Sari, a fitting
Yes.
replacement if I've ever seen one.
Um, our main event is Utami Hayashishita and Nao Shikawa versus Nagisa Nozaki and Chiaki. This is
Hmm.
gonna be a win for Nozaki and Chiaki.
Yes,
Um, over Now. They might cheat and beat Now, and then they can set up Passion Sisters as like a V1 if they want to.
potentially, depending on what we're doing with Nanai, because
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know how full time she will be. because this neck injury. I don't know. Seems like it took a lot out of her.
Mm. I could see her getting tag
Yeah,
tag belts
yeah.
part-time kind of thing, but we'll see. Um, on the 8th, then they are in Tahara City. In our opener now, Ishikawa takes on Bozilla. So that's a Bozilla win again.
Yes, it is. I was blowing my nose.
Natsu
I muted.
all right. Natsumi Suzuki takes on Kazuna Tanaka, 1-on-1. I'd imagine
Oh,
Suzuki wins.
uh, uh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I love this promo picture, by the way, of Kazuna, of her just looking like, "I'll eat you
very
alive,
stern. Yeah.
motherfucker." Yeah.
Um, we
I don't know.
have
Either
Victoria.
she wins. It depends on what we're doing. Because I could see like this going to a draw.
Oh,
I don't really like
second from
that.
the bottom. Like they're not gonna do that.
Yeah. I don't know. They can.
Um, Victoria Yuzuki and Tomomo Minami take on Hummingbird and Rhea Seto.
Oh wait! I just realized
What?
Kazuna is doing that to match Yuzuki and Komomo and Hummingbird. Everybody fucking look. That's crazy. And now everybody's doing the arms crossed gimmick on this
Yeah,
entire
'cause
tweet.
that's true actually. Yeah, this and Chiaki's doing it as well.
Yeah, incredible. This is terrible audio, but
That's,
incredible.
yes. Um, I don't know who wins that one. Hummingbird and Rhea Seto. They might do 50-50 more with Komomo and Rhea.
I think Yuzuki and Komomo win this one.
Oh, okay.
I think it just I think Yuzuki could go over either of those two, really,
Yeah,
and
I get
Komomo
that.
can go over Rhea. So I think it's just like game theory, numbers wise. I think they win.
All right. Utami teams with Koki and Misa Matsui to take on Mirai, Mai Sakurai, and Myla Grace. And that is probably Utami over Myla.
Yeah, I mean I
Yeah,
could see anybody over Milo really on that side.
very true. Nagisa Nozaki and Chiaki then in our main event to take on Misa Matsui. No, not Misa
No,
Matsui. Miku Ono and Naho Yamada. And that is the
like
Dark
that
Wolves winning.
match. I like that.
It's
That'll
weird
be
they're
fun.
doing so many Nozaki Chiaki tags when they are just about to challenge for the belts.
Yeah, but a lot of these aren't against tag teams that'll ever challenge. So I get it.
That's true.
Like there's like really building the momentum. I think it's interesting they're putting them in main events so much. I have a feeling they're kind of like
Yeah.
seeing if they can
But they
keep.
kind of change those every now and then. They'll like announce one is
Yeah,
underneath it, and then they run it the other way. So I could see them changing it to the trios match if they want. I think they just kind of decide on the day usually.
yeah. But if this is a main event, which I think it would be an interesting main event, I'd have fun with it. Uh, it's interesting how many main events they're getting more than anything, in my
That's
opinion.
true. Nozaki's bringing a lot of shows too. She's the most full time part timer ever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, shit. Like I said, Nozaki's like, especially with Saori not around as much these days. In Marigold, I think Nozaki is again their top heel, their top
Hmm.
enemy. So I think it works. And she's like a how do I say it? She's like a reasonable enemy in terms of like Bozilla. There's certain booking malpractice involved if you treat her a certain way. Whereas like
Yeah.
I think Nozaki is someone you could build up to beat very easily, but still
Hmm.
keep her sauce, right? I think Bozilla is a bit more of a spectacle, and it's harder to kind of book around that in certain ways. Uh, you have to take as much advantage of a Bozilla as you can, whereas Nozaki just works in her role. And Nozaki can talk. Nozaki's very charismatic. She's teaching Chiaki clearly, to grow into the role. So I think it just, I think, like I said, one of the most inspired things Rossi's done in years is making Nagisa Nozaki one of his top stars.
Yeah, I mean, he's not the first one to want to do that. But obviously since she left Wave, it's been tough. But she's like worth it. You know, she's a
Hmm.
very charismatic presence. I think she can deliver when she wants to. So yeah, I quite like having her as an upper carder in the company. I think this is the best place for her. I don't like her as just like a random tag wrestler on the indies. I prefer her as somebody with credibility, something to sink her teeth into. Things a lot better for her and a lot better for the Marigold as well. Like I think
Yeah, I
Marigold would
mean,
be a lot worse off without her.
how much does Nozaki do on the indies outside of Seedling these days?
That's a good question. Does she? I think she does Oz. Everybody does Oz now though, so
Yeah,
maybe,
like Oz is,
but
yeah.
I don't actually know.
Uh, recently, yeah. Funnily enough, she just did Oz yesterday. Um,
Of course.
otherwise, it's pretty much just Marigold and Seedling,
Hmm, okay.
and she hasn't worked Oz since July before this. She only does it every couple months. So yeah, I mean, I could definitely see her maybe signing or them just keeping her on this deal where she gets to do Seedling and Oz every once in a while, or LPW for example, which she did last month. Um, I could see her being a long term thing for them, relatively speaking, because she's getting the job done. Like she's doing very well in her role. So I don't foresee them letting her slip through their fingers anytime soon, and if they do, it'll be like a major unforced error because she's really fucking good.
Yeah, no, definitely. Sign Nozaki, get her on board. That's that for Marigold. Quiet times for Marigold. We'll obviously be covering them properly once they start doing stuff. But it's time to go on to Stardom,
Hmm.
and it's been an interesting little week for Stardom. Um, Hold on.
I don't know. I don't know if there's ever been a week where I have wanted to just not cover Stardom more than this week, and it's very interesting because it's not like it was object. It was like abhorrently bad, or it wasn't like abhorrently bad or like actively, like unwatchable, but I just like felt such apathy for this ending stretch of Tag League that I just felt so over it. I started a few matches and I was like, yeah, and I would go through some of them, and and I say that there was a main event that I really loved, which is the Minami sisters match. I really love that match from Stardom. But it this past week I was like I don't know if you could pay me to watch some of these matches on the closing stretch of Tag League, because so many of these teams, um I mean, pretty much all the teams are either slowing down because it's the end of the tournament, or have been bad the whole time. You know what I mean? So I was just like, oh, this is rough. So yeah, that was my feeling surrounding this past week of Stardom.
Um, yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe it was just because we were so close to the end that I was like, just get it over with. Because Tag League has been long. I think a lot of people have just kind of been in and out on it. Um, so I don't know. I think it was
And I
just the
think I think
general
the other
vibe.
I think uh it's similar. So not to diverge. I'm a big digressor, as you know. But it reminded me of my road trip back out to Illinois. Um,
Okay.
funnily enough, because I was like, I'm happy that we're going back, but like, what's gonna be there when we get there? We don't have anywhere to live yet. We gotta find a place and shit. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the the road to getting somewhere, even if it is treacherous and very like just hard and unenjoyable and all of those negative adjectives, uh if you don't look forward to what's at the end of it, it makes it infinitely worse. And I think I'm looking at Dream Queendom starting to form, and I'm just not loving it. And
I
so
don't
I
know.
think
I
that's
think the
I
top
think that's
two
where
are
I'm at with
good.
I think that's where I'm at with Tag League, is that I'm just like, if I felt like this is gonna end, then we're gonna get back into something awesome, I think I would be happier. But I don't think that's gonna happen for me. I think I'm gonna be waiting until next year to see something I like, because well I think Kid and Natsupoi is a good match to book, but it's a matchup that I've never been particularly fond of. I think they could have their best match because they're both probably in their best form right now.
Mhm.
So that's what I'm looking forward to. I don't like Sai versus Tam, obviously. And then Momo and Tekla are going to be defending their belts because Tekla's suspended until that day, so it's not even like they're gonna put it on year-end climax to save me. Uh, I'm just like, damn, this is tough. Zumi and Mai wasn't on that show. They're gonna be on Tokyo Dome. So I'm looking at. It, I was like, this is not a year end for Dylan over in Stardom.
Right.
I think that's what I'm looking at it as.
That's fair, I guess. I expect them to do some weird
I
stuff
expect the
by
show to
then.
be
So
like interesting at least. Like I think there will
yeah,
be some cool stuff. Like I said, I think they booked the best match with Kid versus Poi. That's the match they should have booked, and that's the match that they, that is good. Like they should book that. But even that, I'm like, well, that's not really something I love. But
right.
that's me nitpicky.
Um, for Stardom stuff, we're just gonna take a look at the Stardom wrestlers outside of Stardom and how they got
Mm,
on. Mina Shirakawa was on a W Collision last Saturday. She beat Layla Gray in
oh
a squash match, basically. Then there was also like a promo got aired of her, and Mariah May
yeah,
attacked her. So they very
Mariah
firmly are
May
setting up Mariah and Mina.
had a good promo that nobody saw.
That sounds very standard. Why?
Yeah,
Is it on
uh,
Rampage?
it was on a Collision Rampage where they did it
Oh,
at like noon. Because
that's
there was
awful.
Yeah, it was just a mess. But yeah, so nobody saw that shit, but it was a good promo, and I was like, "Damn, that's a shame."
Crazy. Mariah May is good when she like gets to do stuff. But they
Who
have
would have
set up
thought?
that match for Winter is Coming. So that's
Yeah.
on TV, and Mina likely won't be on World's End.
Wait, are
She'll
they gonna
likely
have
be,
2 women's matches on Winter's Coming?
yes,
And they're
allegedly.
both gonna be good, likely.
Yeah, I mean Jamie Hayter's gonna be in it, so
Probably Jamie Hayter versus Willow and Mina versus That's hey,
that is great. Yeah,
I
um,
don't give AEW a lot of credit these days, but I like that.
it was good. But that kind of indicates Mina will be on the Sumo Hall show, which we kind of would have guessed anyway. Um, and I mean, they'll have the feud ended, so I don't think we'll get any sort of Mariah May, Nina tag or anything, which I was kind of hoping for, but it is what it is. But that's what Mina is up to. She's coming back soon, I believe, but I don't know how soon. Um, Another one, Koguma was eliminated from the next tournament, so she won her second round match and then lost to I think Kohaku.
Yep.
So she won't be challenging Saya Kamatani for the
Well,
wave title,
she
despite
did
stealing the
pin
belt.
she did pin Saya and take the belt, so she
She did.
might still challenge despite losing in the tournament.
She
We will see.
Well, yeah, they could run that like a Corkin or something if they wanted to, but I don't think Wave would be too happy. I don't know if Wave would care though. Who knows? Um, so yeah, that'll be Saya's next Wave conquest will either be Tomoko Watanabe or Kohaku. I am fully expecting it to be Tomoko. I think
Fuck
Tomoko
yeah.
V1. I did say this.
I
I
mean, I'm
think
not gonna watch it, but fuck yeah.
no, that's fair. I think Saya being Wave champion while Hirota is injured is such a tragedy. I think Hirota with this version of Saya would have the funniest match ever. So let's hope Hirota gets better soon.
I miss
Um,
Hirota. I
Same.
think Hirota getting hurt actually was what killed wrestling. Um,
Yeah,
just like from a vibe standpoint,
yeah, I
not
get you.
even like her hand and everything. Just like wrestling's bad because Hirota's not around.
Very fair. Hanako obviously lost to Chihiro Hashimoto and Sendai Girls. I don't
Did
think
you
this
watch that?
show is
Was that
booked.
available? No.
I don't think so, no. Afterwards, Micah strolled out, and the crowd went batshit crazy, thinking they were getting Micah versus Chihiro. And then she said, no, Cup High Mate versus Team 200 kg, which has been made official for the Stardom show on January 3rd, which is a nice little match, but obviously it's not Micah versus Chihiro. And it's also one of the last Team 200 kg matches in the near future because you announced that she was taking some time off. So, yeah, um, they teased us there with greatness and gave
Wait,
us okay.
What? Yeah. Oh yeah. Isn't this Team 200 kg's Stardom debut?
Probably. Yeah.
Because you worked with Nanai and
Yeah.
Chihiro worked alone.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That's fucked up, bro. Hanako?
Hanako, you better
Hanako?
pull yourself up by them bootstraps, or I swear to
Bro,
God.
there's gonna be problems. Yeah, because and then Hashimoto and Sari, that was the other one. So yeah, so man, if you've
Yeah.
been listening for a long time, you'll know that years ago I was like, "Hey, Storm's doing crossover shit. They should bring in Team 200 kg," and then they brought in you and the nine. I was like, "Oh, all right." And then they ruled, and I was like, "That's okay." And then they brought in Chihiro. I was like, "Okay, we should do Team 200 k," and they didn't. And now they
Yeah.
are in one of Team 200 kg's last matches for at least a while, and it's against High Mate, the most
Yeah.
offensive team in Tag League.
All right. I feel like Micah will deliver.
Oh
That
yeah,
is
I mean
a guarantee.
Micah versus you and Micah versus Hashimoto is fun. Uh,
Mm,
but Micah versus Hazuki is also fun, and we didn't get
that's true.
that.
That's true. I don't think they'll be able to build a match around Hanako this time, though. So
Knock
we'll
on
have to see.
goddamn wood.
Um, I think that's all for Stardom wrestlers doing stuff in other companies. I don't think they're involved with Oz at all. I don't think any. Oh wait, yeah, Momo Kogo was announced for Pure J. So
Yeah,
that's
it's like
interesting.
an actress girls reunion match.
It is double Momo, W Momo, her and Momo Tani, yeah, the
Yeah.
tag. So
But no,
that's fun.
I think there's also a match where she's with Saki and
Is there?
Takase.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I think it's like a trios match. I don't really
Ooh,
remember, but yeah, she might be announced for two matches. In Pure
that
J,
would be
might just be one.
interesting. Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah,
But either way, that's nice. I like that. Pure J are good. Let's get Leon to teach these fuckers something, huh?
yeah. Please, God,
Um,
please.
but that is all.
That's
That is
not
all
rude,
for
but
Stardom versus
they're
outside of
they're all
Stardom.
well trained. They're all well trained in
Yeah,
Stardom.
no, but Leon is like
Leon's the best. Yeah.
Leon's the best. Yeah. But anyway, there were two shows this past weekend. I thought there was three. It felt like there was three. Um, when I was watching. The
I think
first
I
one
think one
was
of them went up super late. Like the 24th went up like the day
oh,
before
that's
the
true.
30th
Yeah,
came
yeah. I
up.
think I caught some of that. That would explain it. So that is the wrong one. On the 30th of why do you keep doing that? I keep trying to switch it, and it would. Ugh. Anyway, on the 30th of November, the 14th Goddess Tag League match, Hanan, Rina, and Hina triumphant return in Tochigi Ishibashi Sports Center. This is a sold out 508 fans for the return of the sisters. They opened with Natsupoi and Suriano versus Wakasukiyama and Rian. Suriano got the win over Rian in 9 minutes, and I said that is
To
very nice for them.
Yeah, to end their tournament at wait, no, this wait, was this their last match? I don't care. Go on.
Matoi Hamabe, and the
You
match
you
that also
just you
featured
just
Aya
were
Sakura.
you cut out for like a good 10 seconds. I hope you know that.
Yeah, I think everything froze. Discord was just a bit slow, but it's
Okay.
fine. Natsuko Tora won a three-way with Matoi and Aya Sakura.
Mm.
Um, congrats. Then Suzu Suzuki and Yuna Mizumori beat Lady C and Rani Yagami. Suzu got the win for her team in just under 8 minutes with the Grand Maestro de Tequila. And once again, I say congrats. We then got into Red Goddess action. Hazuki and Koguma beat Saya Kamatani and Konami. Koguma pinned Saya in 9.5 minutes with the
Hell yeah, she did.
120% schoolboy. The crowd was really bad for this show until the main event because Koguma got this surprise win to like a smattering of applause. And I was just like, what are we doing here? Yeah, I enjoyed this. I like Saya Kamatani, so I thought her getting to mix it up with Hazuki and Koguma was neat.
Excuse me.
I think Konami is fully cashing checks. Go get your bag, Queen. But yeah,
Psych Queen.
this was awful. But this was the FWC and Saya show, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean FWC is good. Um,
Yeah,
I actually tweeted, I retweeted Hazuki saying we're gonna win this belt and this belt and this belt and I retweeted it with the video of Sheamus getting all the belts in WWE 12,
yeah,
and Hazuki liked it because she, you know, likes tweets that
yeah.
are retweets of hers. But Koguma also liked it a day later, and I was like, that's awesome. And she didn't have to see that. That's
That
awesome.
is beast.
Yeah,
I like how you talked around Saya being good in all of this, but that's okay.
it's very easy. You just
I don't know. I feel like
don't.
you have to admit, even at least in this match, she was good at like stooging for Koguma, especially. She was good at being like, "Oh no, I'm getting my
Well, yeah,
comeuppance."
I think Saya is she's an interesting case because she's like she like we said this before. She's kind of a fun chicken shit heel. But then she does it, like she leans into that and it's bad. So like this is kind of like
I
the
didn't say
perfect
any
area.
of this. This is all you.
No, but this is like the perfect area where she's kind of like, where she gets foiled very easily and she just looks like kind of not a loser because she obviously
A
uh
nuisance.
yeah, exactly. Like I think that is like probably the best lane for her. Um but also I don't know if that's what I want from a red belt challenger, but that's besides the point.
Okay.
Um but yeah, no, I get what you mean. Still don't like her. Still try to pretend she doesn't
Okay.
exist. But I get what you mean.
Yeah. All right. All right. In our next match, Azumi and Miyo Masaki beat Siri and Saki Kashima. Azumi got the win for her team with the Azumi Zushi. I did watch this match, but it must not have been that good because I couldn't tell you a single thing that happened.
Yeah, I skipped a handful of these matches. I know people are going to be upset with me, but I started watching this one, for example, and I was just like, the vibes just aren't there, and I don't have that much time, so I'm gonna move on to bigger and better things here.
That is fair. Um, Mayu Utani and Momokogo beat Tam Nakano and Sayaka Karara. Momokogo got her big win of the tournament with the Momonpa in 10.5 minutes.
Hell yeah.
This is kind of everything that the Peach Rock stuff has been building to. Kogo's tournament has been her being like, "Why am I such a failure?" And then she gets her big win here. Very nice moment. They did walk it back the next day, which we'll discuss anyway. But yeah, nice to see Momokogo get a win.
Yeah, I still like Momokogo. I still think she's good. Uh, good undercarder. She constantly gets disrespected because she's Momokogo, but
Hmm.
I still think she's quite good, and like I think Peach Rock is fun. I mean, even Mayu at like a quarter speed is all right, and Momokogo tries hard. So like, I appreciate them. Um, Tag League's been rough, but I do think some teams, such as Peach Rock, have been serviceable, even though I don't need to see 8 matches of theirs in
That is fair.
however many weeks.
Um, the next match was Mei Sarah and Kohaku beating Momo Watanabe and Tekla. Mei Sarah got the win for her team with a reverse shooting star. And this drew the two teams level on points, actually. And
Mm.
you can tell Momo and Tekla are dropping the belts because they've lost so many matches lately. That
Well, not
they're just
really,
not
because
going to make them up.
I think that's just a matter of they have to not be in
Yeah, but I
the
don't think they
playoff
really
stage.
look like these all
I mean, they
conquering
are losing
champions.
them. They are losing
Yeah,
them
yeah,
because they are
that's the
bad
caveat.
and they have nothing.
May
I
Sarah
have
had like a
nothing.
basketball jersey
Um,
that like with her
I
name on it.
loved it. I
I
wanted
want
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
also
thought it
want it.
looked fucking badass. Like, because I always liked, because it kind of reminds me of the Nets jersey, and I
Yes,
don't
it's
like the
very
Nets.
Brooklyn Nets.
I
It
don't
is
like the
so
Nets,
Brooklyn
but
Nets.
I love their jersey. So I was like, this is perfect. Get me the Mace jersey. Um, but yeah, no,
I like
I also took note of that. But yeah, I mean, I just think Momo and Tekla, it's a waste of Momo Watanabe. Tekla's wasting her time in this country. Please leave.
she's
Come to
not
my
getting signed
country.
though. Like she's coming
I
back.
know.
Like I don't see either company taking a punt on Tekla.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
How close were Mariah and Tekla? Mariah, please. I mean, I know they don't like you there, so they aren't gonna listen to you. But please, no, we need Tekla to go bar hopping with Mercedes, and she'll get her a job. That's what's necessary.
Yeah, yeah, that could work. Yeah, let's get
I'm
it.
already hoping. I saw Leah James training with Mercedes. I was like, please get her a fucking
Oh
job.
my god, Aaliyah James. I forgot she existed.
I
Does she
know.
even wrestle?
I forget she exists. She's like an indie wrestler, like just
Oh.
like fucking Florida indie wrestler type shit.
Oh
So it's like you
no.
never see anything she does. And I was like, I remember her being very good. Please,
Yeah.
somebody book her so I can see if she's still good. Um, so yeah, but
Okay.
I mean, if I were AEW, I would sign Aaliyah James for that. I'd fucking sign Tekla. But that's besides the point.
Okay. We have
I didn't
an
watch
our
this. I will actually have my scathing review of a Tekla match on the next show.
oh lovely. We had Hanan, Rina, and Hina triumphant special 6-woman tag. Hina, Hanan, and Rina beat Starlight Kid, Rocka, and Saida. Hanan got the win in 20 minutes for her team by folding Rocka on her dome in 20 minutes. Um, I thought this was a very Dylan coded match, and I might be wrong. But I
No,
thought,
you're right. I loved it.
yeah, of
It
course.
was it was on par with like the best tag league match.
Oh my god,
I adored it. I thought it was so
I
fun, and
knew you
I
would.
felt like it just like everything just worked the way that like it's supposed to in wrestling. I felt like, because like I said, it's like if you have heels that I appreciate and that I find interesting, like I'm happy. And Rina and Ruaka both were able to do that even on other sides of the of the ring, and I thought that was really cool. The way that they kind of played that. I think Ruaka. I had this argument the other day with Velke that Ruaka is like, better than Hanako, which she is.
It's not even
And
close. Rocka rocks.
yeah, Ruaka just doesn't try, and I don't blame her. If I was a 20-year-old getting paid to not try at something I love, sue me. Man, I'm doing the Ruaka. I'm doing exactly what she does. But she cares here. And because she cared, she fucking cooked. You know what I mean? Like that's just Ruaka. You know what I mean? Like tag league wasn't for her because Natsuko ain't really cooking no more. So Ruaka was like, I'll just be around. And then she had this match and it was fucking great. You know what I mean? Her performance specifically was great. Hana's performance was great. Ida and Hanan, great. Hina did really, really well. Rina did really, really well. Kid was also there, shockingly. She's the best wrestler in this match, probably. And she just didn't really do much. Probably maybe not best match. So I think Wingcore might be on par with her at least. Um, but yeah, I just thought everybody did their shit, did it well. I was super fun. The crowd was into it. Um, I loved it. Everybody knows I love the Three Sisters. I'm very proud of everything they've done and how much they've grown as wrestlers. And I thought this was like a real showing of that. You know, I mean, when's the last time they had a trios match together? It's been years. Um, and I felt like this was just a really cool, special match against wrestlers that really meant like really matter to all of them. You know, SLK is a generational wrestler with Ruaka and Hanan and the twins, and Ida is, Hanan's beloved tag partner. Like, I just think everything worked. I loved it. Thought it was super fun. Uh, well worth going out of your way to watch. The 20 minutes were not enough. They could give me 5 more.
That is interesting. I thought it was good, entertaining time. A
I know,
lot of character stuff that interesting.
I realized that it was very much me because like I checked Scott's
Yeah.
rating of it. I talked to a couple people and I was like, oh yeah, so this is just me loving a match unequivocally. uh,
Hmm.
and alone, pretty much. But that's okay. I stand out sometimes.
That's fair. That's okay. Um, that was the main event of that show. Then we went on to December 1st with the day of block action. This was in Niigata. Did 426 fans for this one. We opened with a non-tournament action of Mayu Iwatani and Momokogo versus Rani Agami and Matoi. I thought this was a good little opener. Rana got the win over Momokogo with the paradiddle, or the paradiddy, or
Mhm.
whatever you call it.
Ditto.
Um, diddle, yes. And that basically set up Mayu being really disappointed in Momokogo, Momokogo being really disappointed in herself. Um, I think they might have a match maybe soon to like play off that, but then also I feel like they've teased Momokoko like being upset and Stars being upset with her at least 5 times now. So who's to say really? But yeah, this was nice. Matoi did well as well. She's progressing really well.
Matoi, good. Yeah, I didn't watch any match from the show except for the main event because if I'm being honest, the only match that interested me was Hina and Lady C versus Starlight Kid and Suzu and O2 Line versus Cycling. O2 Line versus Cycling went 20 minutes. I do not like Konami and Saya Kamatani enough for that. And I just didn't get around to Hina and Lady C versus Crazy
That
Tigers.
just doesn't seem fair. I suffered through this, and you just
Yeah,
went nah.
yeah, yeah. Well, like I said, this was my breaking point. This is where I was
Okay,
like, I don't know if I could do this anymore.
I
So
see.
I spared myself by only watching the Tekla match.
Right. Well, sure.
It wasn't really sparing myself.
Um, let's see what was next on this one. Oh, we went straight into tournament action. Yuna Mizumori and Aya Sakura beat Waka Tsukiyama and Rian. Aya Sakura pinned Waka in 9 minutes with a modified triangle choke. So no, she did not pin her. That was a submission.
Hmm.
And I did actually skip this one because both teams were eliminated. I didn't really see much of a point in watching kind of a non-tournament match, basically.
Yeah.
Natsupoi pinned Rian in a three-way that also involved Mei Sarah. So
No, she
seems
didn't.
fun.
Wait, what did you just say?
Natsupoi, she
Pinned
beat
who?
Rina. Sorry.
Okay,
And then she
that's
waved the
interesting.
belt in Rina's face. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. Um, then we had Micah and Hanako taking on Tam Nakano and Sayaka Kurara. Hanako got the win for her team in 10 minutes with a JP coaster. I thought this was a solid match. I liked the Micah Tam stuff, although we didn't get nearly enough. Hanako, I think she has a very natural working quality with the kind of her colleagues like Sayaka Kurara, who she obviously would have trained with. Um, so I thought she was better than usual in this match, but definitely like the best stuff getting Tam, and they only did that very briefly.
Yeah. Like I said, Micah and Hanako, I can't. But Micah and Tam is a cool combo that I like a lot. Um, how do you feel about the Sakakura of this all that's going on? How did you feel about her tournament? I feel like I had no thoughts on Sakakura's tournament.
Yeah, she's just kind of there. Her best stuff was always with Aya. I think as a team, they just
Yeah.
work. Um, yeah, I feel like she might be getting shoved up the card. And I don't know if she's ready for that, but I don't think she's bad either.
Yeah, no, I agree. I just like I realized that I watched not all of Sam and Sakakura's matches, but a fair share of them. I think most of them, and I have no thoughts.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like not positive or negative, uh, which is kind of interesting to me
Yeah, there's not a lot there.
to sink your teeth
Sometimes.
into, until
Yeah.
she costs Tam the title, of course.
Oh yeah, no, that's fully happening. Like that is 1000%
Bro,
going to be
when
a
she
thing.
said I wanted to be a badass like Julia or Tekla, I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill something.
That was
Oh my
incredible.
god, she's turning. I was so man, what are we doing? But yeah, so that's
It's the
fun.
world we live in the new Stardom regime. They love it. Um, the next match was Starlight Kid and Suzu Suzuki beating Hina and Lady C. Starlight Kid got the win for her team over Lady C with a moonsault in 9.5 minutes. And I actually enjoyed this one. I thought they
I
all
believe
did
it.
well. I thought Lady C like worked really well with Starlight Kid. I honestly came away from this thinking that they should have Lady C as like a V1 or V2. I think she can
Oh
handle
wow.
a title match with Starlight Kid especially. Um, and I think Hina's improved a lot during the tournament, so I quite liked her as well.
Yeah, I've liked Tina and Lacey's tournament. I think they've done well, especially for their standing in the company. Uh, like I said, I wanted to watch this match. I just didn't really get around to it. I forgot I was on the show, in fact. But yeah, I really like what Hina and Lacey did in this tournament. Starlight and Suzu have been a bit autopilot, but they have had good matches here and there. So yeah, I'm actually disappointed I didn't get to watch this one.
All right. Um, let's see. Next up was Azumi and Miyo Masaki wrestling to a 20-minute time limit draw with Konami and Saya Kamatani. Um, yeah, I saw a lot of hype for this, and then I watched it, and I thought, sure. Like I think the finishing stretch maybe has it oversold to some people because I do think that Azumi and Konami during the stretch were very good. Like they were dropping like really good Germans. They were wrestling at a really good pace. But everything leading up to that was just kind of so fine at best
Mm.
that I can't really say I was blown away by this match. But if you're kind of, I know a lot of people are just kind of like, well, the finishing stretch is good. I don't care. But that's not me. So I didn't love it as much as some people. But
And
yeah,
20 minutes is just a lot. I mean, I think that was one issue with this tag league is like that time limit's really rough because it even pushes matches just generally. You know what I mean? Like matches that should be 8 minutes or 13 minutes in this tournament, for example. And I don't really love that. And this was an instance of it being 20 minutes. So you guys know how I feel about Konami and Sai Kamatani. I think they're fine sometimes, but I don't want to watch them go 20 minutes, especially Konami in 2024.
yeah,
I just don't really find that intriguing. Um,
I think
I'm a
she's
bad
good, but
I'm a
then
bad
she's
host. I'm not gonna
always.
lie.
I think no, I think Konami's good, but then she's like in cashing checks mode constantly, and she just kind of
Yeah,
doesn't put
no, I
the effort
agree.
through.
I mean, Konami's one of the best technicians of our era. The problem is that uh, that was kind of her title 3 years ago, 4 years ago,
Hmm.
especially 5 years ago. But now it's like that's her gimmick in name alone almost.
Yeah, no, I getcha. Um, our next match was Hanan and Saida beating Momo Watanabe and Tekla. Hanan won by getting Tekla counted out in 12, just under 13 minutes. And I thought this was probably the best Momo and Tekla match of the tournament. I think Momo did really well with Saida. I think they were very aggressive when they were working over Hanan. I think there's like a natural babyface thing there, especially with Tekla. Um, so honestly, I thought this was a strong match from all four. And then, I mean, they did the Tekla angle, which we can kind of dive into after. But yeah, I think this is probably the best you'll see of the Momo Tekla pairing. I think Wingori brought out the best in them.
I agree, and that kind of made it a bit frustrating for me because I was like, and I texted you this earlier that it's like this match was three like superb tag team wrestlers trying to have a really good match, and then one wrestler not doing that. Um, and I don't even think Tekla was as frustrating in this match. I thought she just did her stuff, and
Hmm.
and then the count out was kind of lame. It was very lame. I think actually the way they worked it was quite lame, and then the post match was also lame. But I do think that like you watch a lot of this was just Momo against Ida and Hana. And
Yeah.
I think that was where you were like, this is really good. I like this. And then, it kind of fell off at a certain point for me. But I did like a lot of what I saw here. This match really reminded me of how good Momo is at being a tag wrestler. Um, she unfortunately is just with tag partners that I'm not usually fond of. But I liked her in Natsuko last year. I thought that was a really fun pairing.
Mm.
It's not like I've never liked her Oedo Tai slash hate tag partners, but yeah, I think it's a bit of a shame that we wasted this tag title run with Momo on Tekla. I mean, even if you put Konami in there, I think it could have been more interesting. Uh, but what you gonna do about it, sort of thing, and then the post match angle. Because yeah, I mean, I thought the match wasn't great because I think it fell apart and the count out was sloppily done. Um, but Momo and Hanan cooked, and Momo and Ida cooked, which is enough for me to be like, yeah, that was solid, I guess.
All right. So the post-match angle saw Tekla assault a staff member of Stardom. This is kind of the second time they've done the unhinged Tekla angle, and she's been suspended in kayfabe for 3 weeks and won't wrestle again until I think the 22nd, maybe.
You know what?
Um,
I actually I like calculated by the tweet that the English account posted. Um, apparently Tekla makes like 35K a year by uh their
yeah,
standpoint.
yeah.
Um, which I think is very funny. Like that's pretty low for a champion wrestler, but
Well,
but
she is part
because
time.
that's true. But because they posted that it's like she's going 3 weeks without pay, which is like $3,000. I was like, wait, so she gets paid? Or no, it was less than that. And I was like, wait,
It was
what the fuck?
2,000.
Yeah, it was $2,000 for 3 weeks, and I was like, she makes less than 50K a year. That's crazy.
Well, because she gets to take 3 weeks off every now and then, huh?
Well, no, she gets to take most of the year off at this fucking point. Like, has she wrestled for most of this goddamn year? Somehow she's always around, but she's never around.
um, so the angle was met with a lot of eye rolls from international fans. I know I myself was like, "Are they really doing this again?" The funny part is that, like on Twitter, if you go through the Japanese tweets replies, like people are into it, but then that does
Well,
not
some of
translate to
them
the
are.
buildings. Yeah, but
Some
it
of them
doesn't
are
translate
into
to
it.
the buildings either way.
Some of them are calling for Tekla to be deported
Yes, that's true.
because she brought WWE bullshit to Stardom.
That is
That's
incredible.
a quote. That's a quote from
Yes,
a
I saw.
Japanese fan.
I saw. Um, but yeah, it's interesting though for them to be like, "Oh, I think this is like really good." She's like Stan Hansen, and I'm like, "But you're not reacting in the venues. Like there was
Uh,
no booing for this one. There was no like heat. Again, like there's just nothing. The last time she got heat was historic crossover. But that's crowd is used to that sort of stuff.
mhm.
So like I don't know, for as much as the Twitter people may enjoy it, it just is not translating to the venues whatsoever. So yeah, I don't know. The angle is whatever. I get that she probably needs time off to heal a little bit from her wrist, and she's gonna drop the belts at Dream Queendom. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not I'm not into it. Um, the main event then of the show was Syuri and Saki Kashima losing to Natsuko Tora and Ruaka. Uh, Natsuko got the win for her team in 13 minutes by pinning Syuri after a swanton bomb. Um, I had a lot of problems with putting three hate matches back to back like this because even the good heel work like they were doing here, it's the third time I've seen it in the last, half hour, basically. And I think that just limits how well Tora and Rocca can do. Like you're really just limiting your own talent at that rate. And I don't think there's a point in putting heels back to back to back like that. And I didn't like it when New Japan did it. I used to hate it when I was watching New Japan shows and they would have, Suzuki going Bullet Club, Bullet Club. Like it doesn't make sense to me to run the same
I
shit
mean,
back to
and
back
that
to
was the
back.
problem. That was the biggest problem with the 5-star this year. Um, was that they did that. I mean, the thing was that it worked because it usually Momo was usually great, and it was on like it was the day of the good block, the best block. You know what I mean? But there would be 4 hate matches in a row,
Hmm.
and I'd just be like, dude, enough. We don't need to do this. Um, and I feel like they just do that now. It's not particularly great because you start to notice those things. In the 5-star, it was just, oh, every single hate member throws somebody into chairs and then gets back in the ring, and
Yeah.
there's no additional substance to that. Um, and once you notice that, when you notice that in the second match, you have 2 more matches of them doing that. And it's like,
Yeah.
holy fuck! And I feel like that it's that, but even more offensive here because at least the 5-star is interesting. I feel like this year's tag league has been really hard to get through, and it's not made better by having, you know, hate after hate after hate. Um,
Yeah, especially for your block
yeah,
finals. That's a strange
exactly.
move, but I did kind of feel bad here because it really dragged down what I thought was some good work. I think they cheated really well around BMI 2000, which of course I think Tora and Rock are good at what they do. And I think Tora and Suri kind of as your finishing stretch is really cool. But I just like this was I could not with the chair bowling anymore. Like I'm so over it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. I just think that's like stupidity to do that. I don't know why anybody would do that. And they do it in America as well. They constantly do this like same shit back to back, and I'm like, why? Like, what's the point? Like, change it up. But it's whatever. Um, that was tag league blocks. That set us up with 3 teams remaining on each side. I don't actually believe they have the stuff on the website yet, or at least they didn't
I
early.
have it on my spreadsheet all set up.
That's good. But I
Yes.
don't like. I don't think there's any other actual card for the shows. So
No.
I'm just trying to see. 7th and 8th. Let's see how this goes. Running these in Hamamatsu. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's a doubleheader in
Um,
Hamamatsu.
yeah. So on the 7th, they have not announced anything yet, and on the 8th, it
Nada.
is
Even less.
nothing again. Okay. Yeah. So that's fun. I guess we'll just preview the semifinals and final, try and figure out who's winning this thing.
Mm.
I will pull up your spreadsheet because that is the only way I'm going how to do it.
Yeah.
God, no, not good.
This motherfucker can't spell.
So my computer was like, "Oh, you want Goodreads? You're always on Goodreads," and I was like, "No, not this time. Not that much of a nerd, thanks." Um,
You don't have to
okay,
lie.
so okay, on the red hand side, Hanako and Micah take on Natsuko, Tora, and Rocka in the red semifinal. What I suspect they might do is Rocka and Tora win by cheating.
Hmm.
And then Hazuki and Koguma overcome the cheating, maybe with help from Micah. Like maybe Micah runs out and evens the odds, and the Fukuoka trio kind of stand tall, and FWC go through.
Yeah, I think that works. I'm trying to think. Oh, that was the first day. Yeah, Hazuki and Koguma versus BMI 2000. Um, I think I could definitely see Natsuko and Raka beat Hanako and Micah because they already lost to them. So getting that win back works just in terms of like, usually how these like quarterfinals go, sort of thing. I could see either outcome happening, but I think Natsuko and Raka cheating against Hanako and Micah and then trying to cheat against Suzuki and Koguma and failing. Uh I think that fits the FWC story. You know what I mean?
Um, Also, they seem to do Konami Siri again. Konami was like in the ring sitting on Siri after they lost, so they might set up Konami Siri soon. Uh,
Wait, what?
I kind of what
Nothing. I think you cut off. You're fine.
zone out. Oh, okay. Um, Yeah, so I would agree. I think Natsuko and Rocka can cheat Hanako and Micah out of the win. And then I could definitely see a world where Micah like runs out and equalizes against Tora and Rocka then in the final.
That would be cool. I would actually kind of appreciate that. A little bit of a,
Yeah,
Hazuki Koguma Micah respect gimmick because they
yeah,
all like
yeah,
each other.
that's kind of where I'm thinking. And also I feel like they are going to start doing more of that like babyface stuff, just kind of like when Stars ran in to stop Clark doing the spear. I think we're going to
Yeah.
see a lot more like the baby faces uniting. Um, so yeah, that would send FWC through to the final, which I think is a fairly safe bet to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think FWC is the easiest bet of them all.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean,
Oh,
you look at the blue side, uh, two teams cannot win
that's true. Yeah.
this tournament.
See, the only question I have now is the angle that got Tekla suspended seems like it might set up Hanan and Ida to take the belts. But then I also think FWC has a claim to them because they lost the belts initially because Konami cheated. I think there's a you can do a semi long
Yeah.
term play there. Um, Yeah, I think FWC winning is the most logical thing, but that Saya, Ida, Hanan angle with Tekla and Momo kind of made me will think.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I think it is. I think the rings go back to stars. I don't think there's
Yeah,
the I mean, really, the only alternative is Hanako and Micah, and I would rather not think about that.
that's true.
So I think it does going to the blue side. It's interesting because I feel like Hanan could pretty easily beat Suzuki. Um,
Yeah, see, I'm still on the Starlight Kid and Suzu finalist train because I think they pay off Hazuki Kid there.
I could see that, but I don't think they I don't think they can pay it off because Kid's probably winning the white belt.
They can though.
They can continue it. I could
They
see.
don't care.
I think.
That's the thing now. They will just have people win
Yeah.
and lose. They will move the pieces kind of as they need. And I think Hazuki winning probably sets her up for a big white belt match soon because they don't seem to do long reigns. Like I can see Hazuki Kid in April.
Yeah.
They
No, I
don't.
get you.
It's like Natsuboy has had like 2 defenses and she's about to drop.
This is true.
So I think we have to reshape
And
sometimes how we think.
Tam is also likely to drop the belt after 2
Yeah.
defenses.
So
Huh.
I don't fully again, we don't fully know the rhythms of the new Stardom bookers, but I'm starting to believe they are very short term. So I think
Yeah.
they will pay off
Um,
Hazuki Kid in this tournament.
yeah, I don't know. I think that semifinal is very interesting because I mean, what could happen is semifinals. In case anybody isn't uh, kind of bad audio on our part. The quarterfinals are Starlight Kid and Suzu versus Hana and Ida. Winner of that faces Ano and Natsupoi, Tom and Jerry.
Mhm.
Um, so I could see. I think the problem with Wingori is just that they would have to win twice against
Yeah.
hard teams to beat. You know what I mean? Teams that they one team they lost against, and one team that they drew against. Um, like I could see Ida rolling up Suzu
Yeah.
to get through. Oh fuck! My entire goddess thing is not right. That's great. I love that. The spreadsheet is like a complete mess. I did not
Oh.
edit it properly. Um,
I think the only reason I wouldn't put Mingori in is I think they would like to do a preview of Kid Natsupoi in the semis. Um, and I think
that's the
it's
alternative. Yeah.
yeah, and I think you can have Kid's team win, and then she kind of heads in with the head of steam. And, Natsupoi will get a win back. Obviously, they'll do that, but I think they might want to do a Starlight Kid, say, or yeah, or Natsupoi preview there.
Yeah, and I don't think that's necessarily necessary if I'm being completely honest. Um, but I could also see that if I'm being like I don't know. Starlight Kid hasn't officially challenged her, right? Like officially, or has she?
Uh, she kind of was like, "I want the belt," but there's never been a "I will challenge you at Dream Queendom." No. At
I
this
can
point, it is
s-
gonna happen, but
Yeah, I can see uh,
oh, I
Kid and
see what you mean.
Suzu,
Yeah,
Kid and
they
Suzu
win
beating
here.
Hana and Ida, and then Kid pinning Natsupoi.
Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah.
and that being like, and then losing to Hazuki Koguma,
Mhm.
and that being kind of like, okay, well, I can still like, and I think it all works with the gimmick too.
Yeah,
Oh, because it would be the final. It would be the final, right?
it would.
So the idea that I'm kind of thinking now, would be them.
So we're almost
And
guaranteed Kid and Suzu over Wingori. Like very likely.
I wouldn't say guaranteed. I would say that Natsupoi and Sori are not making it to the final. I think
No.
that's like the most obvious. But I think it's very possible that Hanan and Ida make it to the final because they are like they can also win the tournament. They're the only team on that side that can. So like the way I see it is Suzuki Koguma, Hanako Maika, Hanan Ida in terms of like potential winners of the tournament.
Okay.
And historically, I feel like FWC just somehow doesn't win a lot. So it's very possible that they don't win. And in that reality, I think Wingori is just as likely as a Hanako Maika to win and challenge at year end. Or at Dream Queendom. So I wouldn't be as certain about it. But what I was gonna say is I think having Hazuki Koguma versus Starlight Kid Suzu, you could have Hazuki or Koguma pin Suzu, and then Starlight Kid can be like, "Yeah, but I'm challenged for the white belt though, bitch," and
Yeah,
then Hazuki goes insane. You know what I mean? Because she's like, "She's fucking right." Like I could see that also being, the way to tie Hazuki into the whole gimmick because um Hazuki and Kid are about the white belt. That's what the story's about. But
yeah.
neither of them have it, and this is a tag tournament. So how do you kind of make it about it? I mean, you have Starlight Kid pin Natsupoi officially challenge either that day or the day later after they lose to Hazuki and Koguma. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where I'm seeing. I mean, that's what we saw from the jump. That's what we saw from before the tournament. So that's also why I'm kind of having a little bit of pause because I'm just like, it can't be that simple, right? They always do something stupid. Um, and by they I mean bookers. Like this isn't a Stardom thing. Rossi has
See,
done this a million times.
maybe I'm just like not giving them credit. I kind of look at how New Japan is with their tag division and how they keep kind of doing the same babyface overcomes thing, and I just think FWC might be that for Stardom. That Goto, um, what's his name?
Yoshihashi.
Yoshihashi pairing, who constantly get to
Respect
overcome the
Ayumi
heel.
Kirihara's husband.
I'm so sorry. I love Yoshihashi. He was one of the cool dudes when I did watch New Japan. Very sorry. Um, but yeah, I could see them just fully doing that with FWC and kind of making them like 4 or 5 time champions, and they just keep overcoming the heels, and they have like these V1 or V2 reigns. Very New Japan esque, but I think maybe that's just what their influence is. Because I think one of the
Mm.
guys who helps book is a New Japan booker, so there is a lot of that in here.
Well,
It's just Taro
Taro's
Okada.
he's also a New Japan booker.
Yeah,
He
like
he
he's a
also helps
disciple
book.
there. So I think there's probably going to be some similarities, and maybe the tag division just kind of gets
Or he's
copied and
president.
pasted a similar
Yeah,
way.
I could see it.
So that's why I have FWC, and I could see them just getting the belts back and losing by February.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think FWC winning the tournament is the most likely option.
Hmm.
Um, I would love to see an FWC versus Hanan Ira final. That would be the
Yeah,
ideal final for me. But I think Sterling and Suzu versus Suzuki and Koguma um, make just as much sense. If I mean, it makes more sense, frankly.
yeah.
Uh, and I would be just as happy to see that. Um, yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at.
Okay. Do
I
you
I
remember
think
the
I think
artist
we have.
belts? Y'all remember the
Uh,
artist belts?
yeah.
Where are they? Where are they? Hello? Did they lose
Can
them?
anybody hear me?
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Who
Do you
even
think we
has
do?
them? Is it Tam?
It's
Tam
Cosmic
playing?
Angels.
I don't know. Oh,
It's
jeez.
top.
Yeah.
It's the top tiers of Cosmic Angels.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, they're
Um,
never losing them.
yeah, you think they're doing a Triangle Derby next year?
They probably would have announced it by now.
They didn't announce it until like a week before last year.
That's true. But I also think they were creatively bankrupt then, so I don't think they are as much now.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Because
Who
yeah, those
knows?
belts don't exist.
They really
They're just
don't, and it's
they're
weird.
they're belt buckles. They're belt buckles for people who already have belts.
Yeah. Uh, I don't know. But that's yeah, I think we've got it. I think we have a solid grasp there. On what Tag League is about. I can't remember what we predicted for the finals. I think we got 5 of the 6 teams though. I don't think we had Tor and Rocca, but I think we had
Last
Cup
week, you
High Mate.
mean?
Yeah, I think we had Cup High Mate,
Yeah, we had
Inboard,
Shuri and
and
Saki Kashima.
yeah, but we had the other 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
And
were on the ball.
this pretty much still falls in line with exactly. Well, to be fair, no, we thought Hanako and Micah might go in at red one. So Hazuki and Koguma had to overcome.
Oh, that's
But
true. Yeah.
Hazuki Koguma are just the best tag team, so they won the block
Hell yeah.
easily.
Um. Yeah. Okay. That is Stardom. We're done again.
Yeah.
Early, I guess, kind of. We will be back next week to review some of the Marigold shows. I mean, they're both house shows. There's no chance I watch both of them. But we'll
If they're
try and
up,
see
I
the
will
key stuff.
watch both of them probably.
Yeah, I think they're both VOD because they are
That'll be hard.
far out. So it'll probably be up Tuesday. Like the second one will go up Tuesday, if I had to guess. Um, but yeah, I think we'll focus maybe on Tag League. We will review what happened. Hopefully, there's more announcements for what's going to happen going forward. Because I think Stardom, I've said this privately, I think booking wise, Stardom has kind of got into a bit of a standstill. Which is probably a big reason why Tag League has been kind of bland, is that there's nothing really going on right now. There's no Iwata uh Ano thing. There's no Tam uprising. There's no real like anything beyond Kurara and the Saya Tam stuff. So I'm hoping that after Tag League they kind of kick the story stuff back into gear because I do think that's
Yeah,
been kind of lacking lately.
I think that like this new regime immediately like made itself known by doing kind of crazy story shit.
Yeah.
Um, and with like, and I wasn't a fan of a lot of it, but without it, their matchmaking itself isn't the most inspired.
No.
Um, so they kind of need that, I mean, to some degree, at least.
Yeah, and they're not the only ones guilty of it. I think every company has been really boring over the past while. Like I saw TJPW announce a show there, and I was like, they still exist. What has
Yeah,
TJPW done since like the last Miu defense? Like it's just and Marigold is in hibernation. Like Sendai Girls is basically the only promotion doing anything. It
who
is
would
an
have thought the
interesting time.
promotion of the year is the only promotion that's popping?
Hell yeah. But yeah, I do think Stardom booking wise has kind of gotten very lax over Tag League. So
Mm.
hopefully once it's over, they do kick into high gear because there's a lot of wrestlers that need stuff to do going into Dream Queendom. You cannot just have two built up matches and then hope for like AEW to bail you out or like partnerships to bail you out. You have to get going here. Um,
I
but
know.
yeah,
We're 26 days away.
yeah, we have two matches. No like
25
hint
days
of a
by the time
third.
it comes out.
Yeah, like I couldn't even guess what May Sarah might do. There's literally no idea. Um, so I do think they need to get on that. Um, but yeah, we'll be back next week, hopefully to discuss some
Oh,
fun
wait, wait,
stuff.
wait, 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 wait. Isn't there a high speed title match four-way happening somewhere?
I feel like somebody said there was, but I never saw anything official.
Huh.
Like it hasn't been announced by Stardom to my knowledge.
Because I mean, if Wingori don't win the tag league, which they probably won't at this rate, I could definitely see one of them challenging May Sarah, likely Hana.
That would be
That'd be
fun.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
wouldn't
even
love Hanan in there, but
or it would be like a multi-person, but we'll see.
or did you see they announced New Blood for the 26th of December, and I was like, oh, that is counter programming because really funny. Um, but yeah, that that's all that. We'll be back next week
Yeah,
to discuss everything from Marigold and Stardom. Hopefully, it's a more eventful week this time. But yeah, with that, it's time to close the show.
it is indeed.
If you want to stand, you may stand. If you want to sit, you may sit. Believe today, shine tomorrow. You decide what you believe in.
Stay golden.
Ijo.
Isho.